I've never had it before. Oh my gosh. Well, I have had the volume on. I just didn't know it. Hi, Rashi.
Hi, Shannon. Continue.
Lizzie's here too.
Hello.
Yes.
Its recording is in progress. I've never had her tell me that before.
Really?
Woo, there's all the
Hello,
kids.
children.
I am. Okay, hi.
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 They're my coaches from the gym.
What?
Yeah.
I thought you Or you do it by yourself.
No, I have coaches. They guide me.
Oh.
They're like, oh, I thought you do it by yourself.
I thought this
She's like
comic book
Are there
about.
lights in the background?
Lights? Oh yeah, we have Christmas lights up in our living room.
I like it. I like it.
Thanks. So when we watch a movie, it's like a nice little ambiance, you know?
Oh.
Yeah.
I might not fall asleep then.
Yeah. I know. I pass out all the time.
I know. Like, oh,
You
movie's
spend
on.
half an hour trying to decide what movie to watch, and then you
Right. Oh my God. Yeah. It's that and food. Oh, what do you want to eat?
Yeah.
Like at 5 o'clock. How are you ladies doing?
Good. We are very good. What are you drinking?
So this is my herbal concoction immunity drink. It's like cloves, cinnamon, black pepper, turmeric, ginger.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm kind of under the weather, and I was like, let me.
Sounds spicy.
Yeah.
It is spicy. So
Oh.
and then I add honey to it, and it tastes really good. It balances it
Yeah.
out.
I'm like, I might not be able to. I don't spice well. Oh, wait, let me see if I can share it. Oh, my God.
We play jail. What? Let's play jail.
Then I have to. Where is my? Well,
So we're talking about water today.
yeah. Share.
Water.
Water.
Do you see it back there? Share. Why is it doing that?
I'm gonna share your screen.
Google Chrome. Why is it doing that?
Share.
Yeah, it's being a brat. Hold on. My computer.
Okay.
How's your weekend going?
Oh, there it goes.
Where'd she go?
It's because I tappy tap. There. Now you should see it. Do you see it now?
Yes.
She say yes. Did you say yes?
Yes.
Okay. Do you still see it?
It's small now. It shrunk.
Oh. Okay. Hold on. It's like
Get it back.
technology
Get it
101
back.
for me. Hold on. I can bring it back. Figured it out. Yeah, that one.
Yep, I see it.
Okay. You shouldn't see my other little screen. Do you see that?
I do see that.
Dang. Why?
Maybe.
I had it last week or last month.
Application for just the one thing, so it doesn't show the full screen.
Hold on. Ah, good job. But now I got to bring back my other thing. I minimized that. Oh my God.
Thank you for your patience.
Oh my God.
This happens
Every time.
That's okay. It happens.
Oh, it's like this Zoom sharing for me is terrible.
And I love that it's all recorded.
I know, every time. Oh God. Oh Jesus, this child, my child. Sorry. You know, like, can you grab me this from the store?
Oh,
Oh,
Uber mommy at your service.
right.
So she was just saying.
That's it. My kids are living their best life through me as their taxi service.
Oh. I tell my kids, I'm like, you're so privileged. Whatever you want to eat, we just get it for you. We DoorDash it, or like whatever you want to watch, we like rent it for. You know, it's like everything is so
99.
readily available.
Where did my notes go?
Remember
now?
when you had to Like go to Blockbuster.
Blockbuster. I was just thinking that.
Go and you're like, yes, they have it, and you take the front one out, and there's nothing behind it.
Nothing behind it. Deception. Yes, I know. And then when they shut down, that was the saddest thing because it was a whole experience. Like
There's
we would
still
go.
one. There's still one.
Blockbuster.
Really?
Where?
It's in Bend, Oregon.
Ah.
Oh man, we started Army of the Dead. It's on Netflix. It's got the guy from Guardians of the Galaxy, the big blue guy.
Drax. Oh, so Batista?
Yeah, he's in it, but it's really crazy because all the zombie stuff that happens, and then they keep it in Las Vegas, but they do temperature checks on people. And I was like, they're pulling this from the COVID shit.
No. Army of the Dead. I'm gonna have to check that out.
The Dead, yeah, it's new on Netflix. It's quite bloody and violent, so no children should watch it.
No children.
As they kill the
Maybe
zombies.
I shouldn't watch it.
I know. I'm content.
Sometimes I'm like,
a scene
that's
where
terrible.
it's like CNN's on the TV.
Right.
Ladies is on there. I don't know her name, but Garrett recognized her, and she's like, before you know it, they're gonna be segregating us and quarantining us and taking our temperatures and controlling us. I was like, what is this movie about?
Oh my goodness.
Oh boy.
And here we are.
So
Here we are.
Rashi, we work with Healthy Steps Nutrition. That is our like mothership for nutrition. So they have this saying that they believe something as fundamental as nutrition shouldn't be complicated, which is true. Life shouldn't be complicated.
Keep it simple.
Right? So we have some statistics that we'll go over here. And it says, according to the CDC, the prevalence of obesity in 2017-2018 was 42.4% for adults, 19.3% in children and adolescents. Isn't that astronomical?
Can you imagine what it is now?
I was just listening to a podcast with Mark Bell with a guy that does childhood obesity and the epidemic that it is the problem that it is. So it was like, it's scary. So you may be wondering why we're discussing obesity and Rethink Your Drink talk. The study published in January of 2020 found that a reduction in sugar consumption was found to slow down the annual rate of increase of obesity. Many studies have found that the correlation with increased added sugar consumption and weight gain, which is why we really need to consider rethinking what we're drinking. And we'll get into this more when we go through it, but what people put in their bodies is astronomical when they consume it with a fluid. It's like, it's crazy. So this is like me every day with my children.
Me too.
Trying to get them to eat right. It's a struggle.
Biceps, though.
Yeah, she does. That's good. Well, I got biceps. You saying I don't?
No.
Okay.
Great body plan. You're
Okay.
going all the way. Both of you.
Okay, and so this is the I'm going to read it from the person that wrote this. She had a client and says, one time I had a client tell me that she was eating all the right foods, using the plate method, eating those vibrant veggies, whole grains, and lean proteins, but she still wasn't moving the needle in the right direction. So her scale was staying there. She was at a plateau and she couldn't figure out why. She was feeling lost and getting frustrated. And then during one of the meetings that they had when they sit down with the nutrition coach, she found out that, what does it say here? She highlighted the amazing things she was already doing, but revisited one of the foundations of hydration. This is probably the biggest thing we see with clients is that they're not hydrated at all, let alone in the winter. And when we go to summer, it's even worse when we look at it. We have on our sheet that we give everybody in the InBody, and it'll show hydration. And I've seen some terrible ones. I'm like, oh, how about some water right now? So, and it was, the question is, what was she drinking all day if she's not hydrated, right? Ooh, my favorite coffee. After asking her about her beverages, we found the problem. And the hard part was she didn't even realize how many calories and how much sugar she was consuming daily. In a typical day, she was starting off with a Starbucks sweetened latte or frappuccino, 100% apple juice that they had at the office with her morning snack. And in the afternoon and at dinner, she was choosing a can of soda to have with it. Uh, while it's only 3 to 4 drinks, they add up in such a sneaky way. So the Starbucks lattes and the frappuccinos are a definite no-go. The soda at night is definitely, you gotta stop doing that.
Yes.
And then the apple juice, everybody thinks because, oh, it's just
Juice,
apple
it's
juice.
juice. Yeah, it's
Oh
fruit.
man, fruit, the other hidden sugar,
Exactly.
right? So let's put it into a visual perspective. Would you eat this or let your child eat this? It's 6.5 or 6.25 teaspoons. Who wants in? Oh, great. Now they want me to do that. Participants. I don't know why it says there's somebody else that wants in. Oh, well. 6.25 teaspoons of sugar cubes. I wouldn't let my child eat that.
You're like, here,
Yeah.
here, have this.
I wouldn't let the little ants that love them eat them. Right? So, hello. Where's it going? Oh, man. So that is the equivalent of what is in a lemonade. 6.25 teaspoons is the same as drinking an 8-ounce lemonade. So we always let our kids get lemonade like when we're out to dinner or something like that. But at home, I never have lemonade in the house.
Okay.
And you can make all that stuff homemade too.
Yeah.
But
Lemonade or
lemonade
homemade
is,
tea.
but we have to make it simple sugar. And that is like, if you've ever made simple sugar, it's an amazing amount of sugar that goes on the stove.
Yeah.
I'm always like, no, just cut it out.
There's
Do you
some
guys have an opinion about alternative sugars? Like, for example, I like to use coconut sugar
Um,
or like stevia or
so I use stevia in my coffee because it doesn't have the same response for insulin, right?
Okay.
So I put sugar in my body, regular sugar, I have an automatic insulin response. Stevia in the raw is found naturally on the stevia leaves.
That's right.
Should I cut it out? Yes. But it is like I've weaned back how much I have because I do like coffee. I have an addiction to coffee and I'd like a little bit of sweetness in there, but I put stevia in as opposed to the whole sugars that you find. And
like agave.
yeah, there's agave, there's honeys. They're all still processed sugar in your body. So, you know, it's always like you can have some, it's the moderation.
Right.
Key.
Now, and then with fructose, right? Like, I know with like, I've spoken to people who are diabetic before and they're like, oh, we can't really even have fruits, for example. And then
Yeah.
it got me thinking like, then in that sense, does fruit sugar also then affect the body in a similar way? It does?
Yes.
Okay, so then you have to then limit your amount of fruits you're eating as well.
Correct.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So like, well, diabetics, type 1, type 2, type 1 is they're insulin resistant, means their body doesn't make insulin. Type 2 is a diabetic that their insulin receptors are broken. And usually it's obesity that has caused their insulin to be broken. Because
Okay.
insulin, when it's released into the body and there's sugar going, right, it's the lock and key to help transport the sugar through the system. It's the easiest, like,
Yes. Okay.
easiest way to like explain what happens there without going like way down the anatomy and science world. But when you have when you have like fruits, like they have to watch how much fruit, they have to dial their insulin accordingly to eat a banana, right? So yeah, with diabetics, they have to go and get, we can't actually even treat diabetics as nutrition coaches. They have to go to registered dietitians because their food is medicine now for them, the way that they have to eat it and control it. So it's kind of trippy with all of it.
So fruits are good, but again,
Moderation.
and juices, but in moderation because of the amount of natural sugar.
Yeah. It's like I had fruit this morning with my breakfast, but when I use my plate method, I use just like a little, like 1/8 of my plate will be fruit. And I do that for my kids too. They only get like 1/8 of their plate to be fruit.
Okay.
I don't want them to live on fruit because that's just giving them, it's good. It's better sugar than the processed sugar, but it's still sugar. And it's still going to burn through their system and not keep them full.
I see what you're saying.
Oh,
Yeah.
boom.
Okay.
So this 10 1/4 teaspoons is actually what you would drink in a, if it'll click over, a soda,
Ugh.
right? I don't even like soda. I have one kid that likes
drink
it and one
bubbly-
that
bubbly
doesn't.
water
Yeah,
to
I
get the
drink a
fizz.
lot of bubble water. So this next slide is now the American Heart Association recommends no more than 24 grams of sugar for women and 36 grams of sugar for men each day. That is like a really, you can see it's like 9 teaspoons for guys. And I think it is, what is that? 6 teaspoons. Our slide is cut off for girls. That's not a lot. And we way more consume that every single day.
And that's where in like sauces and
Yeah.
dressings, like you have, there's so much added sugar to that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where you get the extra sugar, the extra fat.
Yep.
Loading.
Yeah,
You're
salad.
so right. I mean, I remember initially when I lost all my weight, like, because I literally checked my scale twice in my entire journey, and it was literally at the beginning and towards just this one random day. I was like, let me just see how much I weigh, and I had dropped about 70 pounds, and this was like my max. And I think at that time, I don't know how, it was a mindset thing, but eliminated everything, just like
Yeah.
you're saying, dressings, like even just a tiny. It was literally just eating like a raw salad, like vegetable fruit diet. And it worked out really well. And I'm like, why can't I get back to that? So hard.
Well, because now you're working out, right? And you have to add in things to make sure you're eating enough. So when you come from a really restrictive world, the body will hold on and kind of fight where it's at because it's hit a plateau area where you need to make sure that you're eating now the right quantities of food, right? It's not saying you can't do a raw based diet and still lose weight. You totally can. I have 2 clients that are plant based right now.
Really?
And it for them, it's like making sure they're eating enough proteins, right? Making sure they're not overeating in the carb world, but that what carbs they are eating actually give them more protein too. And making sure there's lots of vitamins and nutrients they have to make sure that they're consuming daily through different ways.
Yeah, making sure you're fueling your body
Yeah.
properly.
Yeah. So if you're super working out really hard, but you're hitting a plateau, that's where you actually need to come in, sit down, do the nutrition interview, right? And then from there, we can sit there and recommend, hey, try it for 3 months here with us.
Okay.
And then you can, hopefully we'll break through that plateau. And more than likely, I've always seen everybody break through the plateau that we
Really?
sit down and work with.
Mhm.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, hold on. I'm trying to click to the next slide. Aha! That frappuccino, that root beer, not even onto the alcoholic fun, and the fruit punch. Woo! So like, I've let my kids for the last month get the school lunches. Oh my God, it's so terrible. It is absolutely one of the worst things I have ever seen in this school. I know the school is doing the best they can, but I'm like, this is so bad in this lunch. It takes my breath away. I'm like, oh my God. And my kids throw out more than 3/4 of the lunch because they're like, I'm not going to eat that.
Because they know. Yeah.
Yeah, they know in my house. they're not allowed to have goldfish, Cheez-Its, any like the pirate booty, the veggie sticks, none of that is in my house because all it does is, and this is from my dentist, is when they eat it, it gets stuck to their teeth. Even if they have water, it'll get even more solidified onto their teeth. And it actually has, one of my kids has tons of cavities because he ate way too many goldfish in his life.
Are you serious? Wow,
I'm very serious. Yeah.
I
So-
never even thought of that. I know the gummies. The gummies
Yeah,
are
the gummies are bad, but the dentist said it is better for kids to eat candy than it is for them to eat goldfish and Cheez-Its and the carbs like that. Isn't that funny? Because their process and the way they stick to your teeth.
Yeah, I was gonna say
It's the
processing
all
of
the processing of the crackers. Now they're like, if you make homemade, that's different, right? Because you're like, I do a lot of homemade. Like right now, I'm currently making bread. It's in its first rise at home, but that's how we make our bread now for the week. Is I make a bread and I have the ability to do it, right? Get it? Not everybody has that ability, or they don't want to do it. And I'm like, that's cool, but maybe go buy from the bakery what they make. It's usually a little bit better. We're going to dive into how to read labels and what to look at also.
Okay, awesome.
But these are just like, you can see how much sugar is in these lovely drinks here. And then this one, it says a study analyzed by the U.S. Drug Administration sugar and sweetener outlook data found that the U.S. population is consuming more than 300% of the recommended daily amount. So what is it I heard the other day? It's like we had the war on drugs, right? Everybody wears seatbelts now in their cars. Nobody smokes cigarettes really anymore. And what is it? Bike helmets, right? Sugar is the next one. But the problem is that sugar is selling for so many big companies, and it's getting these big companies to change how they're doing it. So 300% is
That's
it's a money maker.
It's insane. So it's like, now you have to identify the problem. We'll discuss and identify the added sugars in our beverages, how to start choosing options that contain less sugar, as well as diving into the alcoholic beverages. But here is your label. Sugar can be hard to find, and it's hidden in our foods daily. First thing first is we need to understand how to read the food label. So we're going to go over the food label here in this next one. Look at this one, has your 25 grams of sugar. That's all you can have for the day. That's it. That's it. So if you look here at the top, it says serving information. That's going to tell you how many servings are in your container or your packaging. And a serving size, it says, is 8 fluid ounces or 240 milliliters, right? Then you have how many calories each serving, so each 8 fluid ounces is. And then you have all the different nutrients. So it has your saturated fat, sodium, your added sugars, and it goes through and it breaks it all down. And then there's number 4, which is the percentage of your daily value off a 2,000 calorie diet is what they're usually all based off of. Any questions on that one? You can see the carbs in there, the proteins, you can see the total sugars, and then includes the added sugars. So it means whatever this is, it had 2 grams of natural sugars maybe coming from fruit, and then it added in 23 extra grams of sugars.
So looking at juices, that's what I usually look at. Okay, what's the natural, what is it made of, the natural sugars in it, but how much are they pumping into it then even after that?
right.
They're tricky.
Isn't there like a rule of thumb where they say like protein should be double digit and sugar should be single digit or something like that? Or typically, I mean, it's pretty common sense otherwise, but I'm just wondering if there was like a thing.
I've not heard that one.
No, I haven't either.
And then as far as sodium, we should also be mindful of the sodium too, right? Like sodium content in anything.
Right. So you should be having about 2,000 grams of sodium, milligrams a day, and then guys can get up to 2,500, I think.
Okay.
Grams a day. They have the guys always have more leniency. Their bodies just better processed. They get a little bit more fun in life than we do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, damn it, and we birth children too.
We
I'm
birth
like,
children too.
come on. I'm like, give me a break.
Your body is a machine.
Exactly.
Right?
And they can go to the bathroom. Like my husband's like, oh, I was in the bathroom for like he's in the bathroom for hours. I'm like, what are you doing in there? You know, like.
Yeah. Dude, my son hides out to do dishes. He'd die. I was telling you that, but he goes in there for like an hour. I'm like, what are you doing? I pound on the door.
Take their phone with them.
I'm like, get out of there. All right. So this one is next, looking at the ingredient label, and this is the different ways that you're going to find sugar, right? Okay. It says corn syrup. It says straight up sugar. It says fructose corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup. There's an estimated, what do they say, around 60 different names for sugar on food labels, right?
So tricky.
Right. So the basic is, when I look at a food label, I don't want to see sugar be number 2, 3, 4, or 5 on the list. If sugar's going to be there, I need it further into the label.
Smaller.
Yeah, there's not as much of it. So whatever is labeled first is what it has the most abundance of. So if I have a bubble water, if I look at it, I turn it over, it's going to say water. and it'll probably say carbonation, and then it'll say whatever flavor I have in there. So that kind of gives you kind of an idea of how to look at it.
The less ingredients, the better.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So
There she
That's
is,
it.
the
That's-
head of HSN.
that's our head chica. Says, so we know how sneaky added sugar can be in things we drink. So what are better options out there? Ta-da! Agua, water. Water's the best option. You see, Coach Lizzie and I always have our bottles. We're always drinking water. Fill your big guy up.
It's empty.
Your
Finished it
galloner.
today.
Let's see, we should be having about 60 to 90 ounces a day. For me, that's 2 to 3 of my water bottle. It's a 30 ouncer. For her, it's one of her big guys each day. And let's see, 3 easy tips in order to get more water in. And these are super helpful. Keep your water bottle with you. That's like, duh, but there are many times where I've left my water bottle and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like, what do? I usually buy water.
I'm guilty of that as well.
Yeah. Says carrying a water bottle with you is simple and easy, and it's the best way to just get water in. If you're bored, drink water.
Yeah.
Number 2, use a straw. This definitely changed for me. I hadn't been using a straw till we started doing this HSN last year, and I added a straw to my water bottle, and it was awesome. Plus, they can be pretty if you want them to be.
Yeah, you definitely drink a lot faster.
Drink faster. I think you consume a lot more. It's a little easier and quicker.
Safer in the car.
Yeah. And you can add in flavors. And here are all the different flavors. It sounds like your little concoction there is awesome too. Those are some great spicy flavors. But you see here they have like mint and watermelon, which I think actually would be really good. You got to limit how much watermelon you are because that is super high in sugar. That is like one of God's little like sugar cubes out there. Then you have cucumbers and lime. I think would be actually really good. I love cucumbers, and I think lime just with that
cucumbers
acid.
and mint. Also.
Yeah, that'd be good. Strawberries and lemon, and the blueberries and the orange actually sounds really good.
It does actually. Yeah, that's different.
Yeah, I'm not very good at doing these, but I'm always like, gosh, if somebody made a picture of it, I'd drink it. So now the alcoholic beverages, summer is upon us. Yes, pool time is here. So to make sure we are all on the same page here, a standard drink in the US contains 15 grams of alcohol, which is found in 12 fluid ounces of a regular beer, 5 fluid ounces of wine, or 1.5 fluid ounces of a distilled spirit, such as whiskey or vodka.
You don't ever get a 12-ounce beer. It's an 8 or a 16.
Right? And the wine's either like 4 or 6,
Yeah.
depending on their
We
pour.
Last night, my Garrett's sister went out and got the new Trulies,
We have those.
the punch ones.
Oh, I didn't get the punch ones. The lemonades.
The lemonades are good.
I have the regular
the
Trulies.
tea ones are good, and these new ones, I think, yeah, they're punches. But I was drinking it. I was drinking the tropical one,
Yeah.
and I was like, "This is so sweet. Like, this has to be packed with sugar." And I look at it, and it was 0.
Yeah.
I was
They have like less than one.
"Bring it on!"
I'm like, I don't even want to know how they're doing that, but I'm
Yeah.
down with it. But and
Very
so if we
little
can get
ingredients, no
more
carbs.
companies to do it,
Yeah.
right? It can be done. And truly, White Claw, they have during the COVID, they actually blew up and became huge. I have a White Claw sweatshirt.
Really?
It can hold my White Claw.
What are they using for? Is it stevia sweetening?
Stevia, and there was
And-
something else.
It's not,
Not
they don't,
monk fruit. It was
it's one of those though that's
Yeah,
a
a
natural
natural
derivative. Yeah, it's not like aspartame or anything like
Mm-mm.
that, because I can't even stand those. I
no,
won't
there was
drink them.
only like
Yeah.
3. It was
Yeah.
like the fruit flavor, which was actual fruit.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
The
I was
mango.
So happy.
The
The mango's
mango
my favorite.
and pineapple.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay, these are turning me on to something. I'm gonna have to get.
We're turning you
The
on to
blueberry
alcohol.
Truly is also really good. And then
Yeah.
I found that because I quit drinking for like a week and a half, I really had no issues with it. But I found the AHA bubbly water.
Okay.
Berry tastes exactly like the blueberry Truly. And I was
Oh.
like, so
I
that's
haven't
kind of like
tried AHA.
just having a can. They have
I do a lot of bubble water.
yeah, the AHA is very good.
I always have some in there.
Natural flavoring too.
I think Coach Chris and I battle for who has the most personal
Personal
drinks,
stuff in
most personal drinks in the selling drink fridge. It's pretty funny. I'm always like, well, is that your protein or my protein? He's like, I don't know. I'm like, well, there's two of them. I drink one. He's like, okay. So, all right. So, oh, and that's the protein I have. I do a lot of the Fairlife protein because I like easy, quick. I don't want to mix it up, but it's really low in sugar too.
Fair life.
Fairlife. You can get
A Fairlife milk,
yeah,
chocolate milk and stuff.
but it's the protein they have. It's you can get it at Costco now. You can get like a pack of 20 or 30 of them. I don't know. I buy like 2 to 3 a month. I get one from Amazon because everybody drinks protein in my house. Plus, I have my driven protein that I put in my overnight oats.
Wow. Okay.
With stuff like that, even your protein shakes, you have to watch
Yeah.
the sugar, the added sugar there,
Right.
because that ups it really,
Oh,
really quick.
fast. A lot of those ways you have to really
Check
look
their
at them.
sugar, especially if they're flavored.
So the driven that we sell is pretty clean. It's not too bad at all. I can't remember the exact numbers, but we made sure when we picked a protein that it was approved by the nutrition people.
Oh, yeah, I've had an experience with maybe a couple of different ones, and like they just didn't sit well in my stomach. And I don't know. I mean, I did look out for the low sugar, but like maybe the other additives or
Try the Fairlife because it actually is lactose free.
okay, awesome.
So Fairlife milk, we have to buy that in my house because my husband has a lactose issue. He'd probably hate knowing that I'm saying this out there, but we buy that. I buy 2 of the. It only comes in what are the half gallons or half quarts? What are those
Yeah.
things? You know, I don't know what that half
Half
size
gallon,
is.
probably,
Not
yeah,
a whole gallon. It's like a quart, I guess. I buy 2 of those, and we buy the whole milk. So my thinking on with milk is that I'd rather have full fat, good fat, than go with non-fat milk where you're gonna have weirder, different additives. I'm like, don't take away from what the cow is giving me. That's my own personal thinking.
No, I'm there with you.
Yeah, so I went from a world where I grew up drinking non-fat milk, and now I drink only whole milk. So it's pretty funny.
Raw milk is really good too. I was trying to get my kids onto raw milk, and they were
Yeah.
just they didn't really like the cream that settled on top. It kind of got mixed in. So they got
That would be delicious.
Yeah, I used to
That
do
would
that.
be
that
so
was
good.
really tasty, and I was like, I was considering making butter. I need to like, but it's just like, you know, when you start doing things on your own, like once you realize
It's easy.
it is easy, but I think maybe I overthink everything. I think that's what it is, because I'm just like, oh, it's gonna take forever. Like even making bread, I've been thinking about like, okay, why can't we just make our own bread or something?
You can make your own artesian bread. That's how I started, and then I went to the sourdough world that takes a lot longer. But I made artesian bread for a long time, and that's just one simple rise. I should do a bread making. Like it's not that hard. It's just you have to be willing to fail.
Yeah.
Oh,
You do have to be willing to fail with bread because it does fail. Oh, there's a guy here.
I think with a lot of these things,
Oh, is
when
that
you
your
go to
guy?
macro,
Okay.
it's like,
4, huh?
All right, let's see. Let's get through here. This slide is just talking about whole foods. The same whole foods you would put in your body, you would want to put into your drinks. Research is limited. I know. Research is limited, so several studies have found that high alcohol intake is correlated with impairments in strength, power, and muscular, as well as cardiovascular endurance. So we tell our clients here that, you know, we're not telling you don't have to give up drinking, that you should limit the amount of drinking because it slows down your metabolism. And like they said here, it could decrease your muscular and cardiovascular endurance as well. Let's see, there are 3 changes in your body's hormones and immune system, along with the increased rate of dehydration and possible issues with post-exercise muscle growth, recovery, as well as glycogen replenishment.
Sugar.
Woo. Yowzers. So in short, your workouts aren't going to feel as great, nor are you able to recover as efficiently when bringing alcohol into the mix on a regular basis. But it doesn't mean you have to give it up. Right? So I have some wine on the weekends. I don't drink through the week. Should I give it up entirely? At times I do, at times I don't. Just like Lizzie said, you know, we use moderation a lot, you know, but there's one thing that I enjoy is sitting out by my fire pit and just relaxing. It's my day off, and, you know, I need that wind down time. So wind down. So it's here it says you don't have to give it up. Absolutely not. 100%, but you should try to avoid adding sugars into your alcohol. With sodas, juices, and other mixes, aim to choose simple drinks like wine, light beers, or spirits with water or carbonated water and fruit. Be sure to plan ahead and eat whole foods and don't eat. So when we drink a copious amount or we drink in abundance, we tend to eat stupid food. We find the child's
There's no
goldfish.
inhibitions.
We're like, I'm just gonna eat it. I don't care. A block of cheese. I don't know. Random things that you're just like, I don't even know how
Tortilla.
old that is in my fridge. I'm just eating it, right?
It goes well with wine.
With wine, or why is it gotta be my wine? But we're saying that the alcohol will make you eat and consume worse. So if you are going to have alcohol, make sure you also have water with it. So for every alcohol drink, you should have a glass of water. That helps a lot of clients that I've worked with. Also to have foods already prepared that you're going to eat, or to eat ahead of time if you're going out with friends.
One suggestion I've given to a couple people too is set your drink down and walk away from it.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're constantly holding it in your hand, you're just gonna keep going through them super quick.
Yes.
Especially if there's a straw.
Oh, yeah.
The straw applies to water as it does to alcoholic beverages. You will drink more.
A giant margarita. Like,
Yeah. Wait, margarita's on this list. Where is it? Look at how much sugar, 78 grams.
are you serious? You never think.
It talks about here. Lastly, a great rule of thumb in drinking is a 1-to-1 ratio of the water that we talked about with your beverage of choice. And then let's see, be sure to ask about all of your approved drinks for the summer festivities. Like we said, Trulies and White Claws, those are all really good. And actually, they pack a wallop of alcohol in them.
5%.
Woo! Like hound doggy. So the dirty martini has zero sugars. I don't know that I've ever had a martini.
Gin? Is gin on there? I'm a gin and tonic girl.
You are?
Yeah, and
That
I found
reminds
this
me of my
gin-
grandparents.
Well, yeah. Oh, it's right there. Ugh.
Oh,
no.
your gin is
38
pretty high.
grams.
What are they making
Well,
on them?
I also found this one at Save Mart.
Go back to the Cosmopolitan.
It's by Snoop Dogg. It's a strawberry
Ooh.
gin. It's delicious.
Oh, that would be good.
Just a sip on it. You don't need any soda.
Ooh, champagne.
You don't even need the juice.
Drank tons of that. Oh my gosh, a rum runner is 105.
I know. I saw that. That's insane.
Definitely had way too much
Calories for one.
drinks on vacation.
Yeah.
The Mai Tais and stuff
Oh,
like that.
they're so delicious. But then I feel bloated and icky.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like this weird, like, I'm like, oh God, get it out of me.
Oh, get out.
All right, so this is our last, this is your nutrition coaches, Shannon and Lizzie. And then to book your free appointment today with us, you can go to safetyfit.com, or you can talk to either of us.
Okay, for sure.
And you're merci beaucoup. I don't know how to say it in any other language. Thank you.
What is it? Derriere? Like the French have a weird way of saying the R, and I can never get it right. But it's like
Merci. It's up in. I can't roll my R's, but I can
Canadian
speak some
over here.
French.
Still can't speak French.
And we can't dare do that at this time with COVID going on, because they'll think you're sick.
I know.
I gotta go. Lovely seeing you.
Bye.
Likewise, we'll see you tomorrow.
All right. Bye, Rashi. Thank you for stopping.
Of course. We'll talk soon.
Bye. We're back. Bye.